home price increases are actually slowing down. What does it mean for you? Are you actually losing money in your home purchase or your real estate investments? Today, we're going to talk about the current market conditions, what is going on with the real estate market. So far, we've heard a lot about interest rate increases, what's going on with inflation. In some markets, you hear that property prices continue to go up, while in some markets, you hear that they are actually going down. And then in some others, nothing is happening. But the bottom line is, we all want to know what is going on and what you can do about everything that is happening so that you can protect your home purchase or your real estate investment from losing value. And that's what we're going to cover today. So let's get started. All right, so we have this article from the Wall Street Journal. It is quite interesting. And like I said, it talks about the home price slowdown. And I know the title talks about the 2022. Believe me, it impacts your outlook for 2023, because what this article does is just to talk about the overall historical data as to what happened in 2022 and how you should take that information to do a better decision making in this current year. So just to get started, we're going to scroll down, and the first line I want you to pay attention to is right here. Home price growth decelerated in 2022 after a rapid rise in mortgage rates, pricing many buyers out of the market. It is no surprise that at this point we are facing higher interest rates. And although the price of houses are slowing down in terms of, increases, we have another factor that we need to take into consideration, and it's the fact that mortgage rates are actually going up, and that makes it more difficult to be able to afford a home because the rates will translate to higher monthly payment in your mortgage. And going down through the article, the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller National Home Price Index, which measures home prices across the nation, rose 5.8% in the year ended in December. And I know 5.8 might sound like it's a lot, but then when you take this 5.8% and you compare that to the prior month, they actually went down, because in the prior month, the home prices actually rose 7.6%. So in November, it was 7.6%, but now in December went down to 5.8%, which means that housing prices are actually starting to slow down. And when you take these numbers and you start comparing the last 6 months on a monthly basis, the article shows that the index actually fell 0.8% in December compared to November, and that has been a constant decline. Another fact that you need to take into consideration is that existing home sales, they dropped 17.8% in 2022, and it translates to the lowest level since 2014. All of this because of the abrupt surge in mortgage rate. And now most home buyers are being impacted by it because it affects the issue of affordability. So what do we expect for this year? Well, there's this section right here to answer that question. Many economists expect prices to continue to slide from their spring 2022 peaks, with some calling year-over-year price declines later this year. So as we enter the spring, some of the economists are expecting prices to continue to go down. And according to this article, the Case-Shiller index fell 4.4% between June and December. And there are certain areas where prices are declining faster than others. So for example, in this article, it talks about prices declining faster in Western market, such as the Phoenix area, where prices fell 1.9% in December from the prior month, and then Portland, Oregon, also down 1.9%. This is not nationwide. Like I mentioned multiple times in our channel, each market, it's different. And you will see this as you continue to scroll down. There's a section right here that talks about the national median existing home prices. And they, in fact, did rise 1.3% in January, reaching a median of $359,000, according to the National Association of Realtors. And that is considered a small annual price gain since February 2012. But then if you continue to scroll down, we see the other side of the scenario, right? So we have prices decreasing in these areas in the Western market, and then we see the national average. And then when you scroll down and you pay attention to areas like Miami and Tampa, then you can see the contrast and where it talks about how Miami had the fastest annual home price growth in the country at 15.9%, followed by Tampa at 13.9%. Now, compare that to the weakest market. They happen to be San Francisco, where prices fell 4.2 on an annual basis. Now, this article opens up the segue to answer one of the questions a follower left us in the comment section, and it has to do with what should you do, right? So let's say, for example, if you are in a market where home prices are actually going down, she is wondering, okay, am I losing money? So that it's one. And the next question is, what should I do, right? And so for that, I don't really have a exact answer. However, I do have options, different scenarios that I can share with you and let you make a decision based on the information that I'm about to share with you, because each situation is different and whatever works for me might not necessarily work for you. So it is good for you to take into consideration the article that I just share and go through all of the details and the facts that they're actually sharing with you in conjunction to the scenarios that I'm about to share with you now, and let you decide what you can do, whether you should stay put or take action. So let's say, for example, the key question is, am I losing money here? Well, it all depends on how you want to look at it. So let's say, for example, you have your house right here. And let's assume, I don't know, you bought it in 2021 for $250,000 at a rate of 3% interest. I'm just making an example right there. And then all of a sudden you realize that in 2022, there was a big rise because some of the market were still playing catch up. And then you realize that your property appreciated to 300,000 and the rates are actually catching up and it went up to 4%, right? If you were to buy around this time. But let's say you fast forward in January 2023, and you have the same house, and then you notice that there has been a slowdown, and instead of the houses going up as fast as before, it's probably at 301,000, but then now you're seeing that the rates are hitting 7%. This is just all hypothetical, 3 different scenarios. And so your question is, you're seeing this deceleration right here, and you are wondering if the market could start taking a turn, or depending on where you are, or let's say you just happen to be in one of those Western markets that the article just talked about. It could be that you are in a situation where the numbers could look like this, right? So you could be here or you could be here. We don't know. But regardless of the scenario, the question here is, are you planning on selling or not? Or are you planning on staying? So the question is, selling? Are you living in the house or staying in the house? So if you are selling, let's say you need to sell right now and you bought here, you are not losing money. Yes, maybe there has been a deceleration over here compared to the prices that you see here. But the truth is that you bought here in 2021. So if you bought at this time and you're looking to sell right now in 2023, for whatever reason, let's say you want to buy a bigger property, or you're looking to, I don't know, just upgrade your house for whatever reason, or maybe there's an emergency and you need money right away, you are still making some profit if you happen to be selling here. So now the following question will be, are you living or staying in the property, right? So for that, we're going to use a different color right here to identify. So if you're leaving or staying in here, it really doesn't matter what could be happening here because you are not planning on selling your property anytime soon. And as everything with the market and any market, not just the real estate market, but with any investing market, there are cycles. There are cycles of highs and there are cycles of lows. And it's all a matter of riding through with them. But as long as you're living in your house and you have a roof over your shoulder and a roof to provide to your family, you should not be so concerned. Yes, you should monitor the market to see what's going on and what's happening, but you're not truly losing money. You might not like the fact that you probably pay a premium for your property, but hey, you're not selling at that moment. The moment you consider selling is when you really want to pay attention. Another scenario is, are you consider refinancing? Because if you are refinancing or planning on take a HELOC, then this number will be concerning you because you might not be able to pull as much money out of your property in order to buy or use that money for whatever plan you have. But even if you do plan to refinance or to get a HELOC out of it, you should still consider the existing rates right now, and they're relatively high. And then ask yourself, is it something that needs to really take place right now because the rates are in fact high, and maybe it's worth for you to wait out some of the time. Like I said, losing money on what you should do will depend highly on what you're looking to do. Are you looking to sell? When did you actually buy the property? Did you buy the property in 2021 or prior? How about the price of the house? Is it still lower than what the prices are today? Then that means you are making some money. It becomes an issue if you're actually selling at a price that is a lot lower than what you bought it for, or if you're planning to refinance. But if you have no intention of selling anytime soon, then you're not losing money because you are reaping the benefit of the house by either living or staying in there. But if you plan on selling or refinancing, then you could be impacted by the fact that the prices are slowing down. But like you saw in the article, is not nationwide. Some areas are being affected more than others, but it doesn't mean that your market could be affected by it. So I will continue to monitor the market, talk to the expert, reach out to your power team, whether it's a realtor or any mortgage experts in the area, to let you know what else is going on in your local area and make a better decision by then. For those interested in learning about refinancing or HELOC, here is a video on the screen that you can check out right now to continue to expand your learning. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.